out there. My name is Heinrich Neetling and welcome to Mathematical Literacy. In today's lesson, we'll focus on conversion graphs, conversion tables, as well as conversion rates. Now, before I start, let me quickly share something very interesting with you. Did you know that in order to have accuracy and avoid confusion in measurement, we need to convert one unit to another? For instance, we do not measure the length of a pencil in kilometers. Alright, so what are the lesson objectives? So by the end of this lesson, you should be able to identify, define, as well as interpret conversion graphs, conversion tables, and conversion rates. Also important is that you must be able to perform calculations based on these conversion graphs, tables, and rates. Also important is you need to calculate values in conversion tables. And lastly, you must be able to draw conversion graphs. So that, all in all, is our lesson objectives. Okay, now let me quickly share some interesting words with you. All right, that's important for this lesson. But before I do that, this is our lesson map, right? As I've indicated, the focus of today's lesson is conversion graphs, conversion tables, as well as conversion rates. Now let's look at the pre-knowledge. So what does that mean? At this moment in time, what is it that you should know? You should know that a unit is a standard measure of a particular quantity. Okay? For example, meters and kilometers, right, are both units for measuring distance. And then seconds, minutes, and hours are units for measuring time. Then, when we think of the word conversion, immediately the word metric system pops up, right? So what is the metric system? That is the international system of units. Important here is the abbreviation we use normally is SI. Okay? This is the unit that is officially adopted as the system of measurement around the world, right? With the exception, of course, of the USA, Burma, as well as Liberia. Okay, so that's your metric system. Examples of units in the metric system is your centimeters, seconds, grams, etc. Then on the other hand, right, we have what we call the imperial system. Okay, now let's see. This was first defined, right, by the British Empire in 1824. A bit of history there. Then it is still used in the USA, in Burma, as well as in Liberia, as I've mentioned earlier on. So examples of units that we use in the imperial system is, for example, inches, pounds, yards, gallons, etc. And you'll see some of that as we move on with our lesson. Then just a little note here. Please note, guys, that you will not expect it, right, to learn these units from your memory, but rather you must be able to work from them by use of a conversion table. So don't stress about it. Don't go and study it. A table, conversion table, will be provided to you. Okay, now let's quickly do a quick practice. Okay, and I want you to work with me. Okay, so I said question number 1, fill in the correct answer. Now let's see what it's about. So I'm saying, what is used to change one unit into another? Now if you've listened carefully, I said we use conversion graphs. So actually we can say conversion graphs. Right? I'll write it like this. Or we can also say, or use a conversion table. Right? That is also used to change one unit into another. Are we clear on that? All right. Let's look at another question. Question number 2. I said identify the diagram shown below. Now let's see what is our diagram. So looking at this diagram that's given, we can clearly see that this is and I'll write the answer here, a conversion table. Are we all clear on that? Here we can see our units here, and there we can also see our units given there, grams, kilograms, and so on. All right, let's look at our next question. So the next question says true or false. Let's see what our statement is. It says here, a unit is a standard measurement of a particular quantity. Now that is indeed true, right? A unit is a standard measurement of a particular quantity. Let us look at one more question. Right, so I'm saying here, define the term rate. So what is a rate? Remember, a rate compares, right? It compares two quantities, right? Normally expressed using different units, right? So we look at that as we continue with our lesson. So it compares two quantities, and normally it's expressed by means of different units. Okay, now let's look at some other important terminology that you should know. So I said here a conversion graph, right? It is used to change one unit into another. Okay, this could be changing, for example, between miles and kilometers, or pounds to a foreign currency, or the cost of a journey on the number of kilometers traveled. That is a conversion graph. And what is a rate? As I've indicated, a rate compares two quantities, right? Expressed in different types of units. Okay, so there's the definition of a rate. For example, okay, if you pay 80 Rand 50 for 5 liters of petrol, then your 80 Rand 50, then we say 80 Rand 50 per 5 liters is a rate. Okay, then we can also say the number of rands is then compared to the number of liters. Okay, so your number of rands compared to the number of liters, the two quantities we refer to. Then the price can be written as 80 Rand 50 per 5 liters. Okay, then we also indicated here that a conversion table. So what is a conversion table? Conversion table is a tabular arrangement of the equivalent values of the weight or measure units of different systems. Guys, I hope that's clear to you. Let us take a quick advert break. After the break, we'll put all of this into context. See you now.